Garage sale finds. So I went to one garage sale today. It was a friend of my parents, and the only things he actually charged me for were these two lights, $5. And so I went to pay him. I had a 20, and I just gave him the 20 and told him, just keep it. He didn't want to take anything for any of the rest of the stuff. And I figured I've got it well over $20 worth of stuff here, and so I'm good with giving him $20 for it. What we've got here, and of course several tubes, brand new tubes of grease. It's good stuff. And that can is actually for my great aunt and uncle. But we've got a can of Kim Dip, and we've got some master links. There's just bits and pieces and some half links. Probably not much left here. Most of the clips look like they're missing. We got some parts though. We could make some of it work, and some of those half links. But these are boxes. He had bought these out of I guess a hardware store that was going out of business, and so they're just boxes. I'm gonna have to find some way of organizing these, where you can easily get to them. Yeah, this is all stainless right here. I've got all those stainless screws. This one feels heavy. Look, this looks like stainless too. Yeah, that's a lot of money in bolts there. And some of them, like this feels pretty light. There's not much in here, but this is probably also stainless. Yep, stainless. This one feels heavy. It's really got a lot in it. There's just a ton of hardware in these things. Oh, these are left-hand nuts. That's handy because these are hard to find. It's not something you're going to use often, but wait, let me think about that. Yeah. Is it a left hand? I'm trying to see if it's in the wrong box. Yeah, it is, because that would be going on. So yeah, some stuff like this is hard stuff to find if you have to replace it. So it might not be something you use often, but it's handy when you need it. I don't know what this one is. These look like aluminum. Yeah, those are aluminum screws. These little thumb screws are nice for stuff. Lock nuts. This is nice. This is very handy here. Looks like I've got every size still in here. Very nice to have. That's probably about the most common one I would use. That one and maybe this one. These are some huge ones. Let's see what else we got. Bolts. Stainless. Let's see what this is. This one's an oddball box. Bearings and sleeves. Bearings and reducers. fine thread. Fine thread or metric? Fine thread. Sheet metal screws. Yep. Sheet metal. See, most of these are picked through fairly well, but there's still a lot in this one. What's this one? Look at that. That's handy. Woodruff keys. Tension pins. That's another handy thing to have. There's a ton of hardware here. Studs. That's nice to have. There's actually more stuff. I thought they were going to be a little more empty than they are. Long bolts. Cotter pins. Foot pins. What are these? Screwdriving liquid. Beeswax. Those are handy. Stop nuts. They're almost all gone. Still a couple in there. Those are handy. I wonder if that's new packages of them underneath. It sounds like there's something in there. Or is that just some that have fallen down under this? Yeah, it's just a couple that have fallen under it. It's not new ones underneath. Lock washers, stainless. Those are nice for woodworking. It's pretty much the stuff you would kind of find at your Lowe's in the drawers. These are grade 8 bolts. These are nice. Nice to have. Another oddball box. Just chain rollers. So I think what I'm going to do is this thing here is falling apart. So let's take, we'll throw these all into one thing here. And we'll set this aside and set that aside. And that's everything that was in here. We can get rid of this one. See, it's just falling apart. So get rid of that. And that puts everything where it needs to be. And we'll take this. Put it in there. And we'll set that aside for now. Look through this box. Yeah, we did. Just a stack here. Hey, we'll throw this one in there. Goes along with those. The metric screws. Metric bolts. These metric. Yep, metric. This is a ton of hardware. I'm excited to have all this. This is, and I need to, it'd be nice if I had one of the cabinets that these things went in. You know, you could just lay these just laid in drawers and you'd pull the drawer out and open the box up. You know, it would have been nice to have those huge washers. These are handy to have because I need one of these on the mower for the John Deere. For the spinner wheel, the shaft, it's missing the washer. It fell off, the whole wheel fell off one time, and it really needs a washer on it. I had trouble finding one big enough. It's like a 1.5 inch shaft. Probably set screws. Yep. Alright, I've got to go pick up my son for camp real quick, or from camp. So I need to pick this up later. We're about halfway through the boxes. We'll continue on. Well, for y'all, it'll be right now. And I'm back. So we're gonna have to kind of start, I think we'll start working from the side now. We're filling up the tailgate. And these are just nuts. There should be a box of these. You may have to reorganize some of these. Some of the stuff that's in here are a little out of place. So you may have to reorganize some of these. It should just be screws. Yep. Decorative screws. Fancy. Those are handy. These are handy for not small ones like that, but these larger ones like wagons and stuff that use these on the axles to hold the wheels on. Probably more like that. An old box, I'm sure. I wonder if it's got a date on it. I don't see any dates. Actually, this is the predecessor to these plastic boxes. The thing about all this hardware and stuff, it doesn't matter how old it is, as long as it stays dry. You know, doesn't matter if it was made in the 50s or made in the 2000s. It's still good stuff. Oh, these are handy. These shoulder bolts. We call them axle bolts. That's handy. Leave that on the bottom. It's a heavy box. This one's a good lightweight to put up here. Nylon screws. Little set screws. Speed nuts. There's so many of these things. There's just a lot of hardware here. Little these are the washers for sheet metal screws, like for roofing, keep them from leaking. Those are handy to have. Got a phone call. Where were we? Have we opened this box yet? I think we might have some grade 8 screws or bolts. Continue on through these. And just some more metric. Yeah, these are metric. That stuff is very handy to have. These metric, are they standard fine thread? They're standard fine thread. Yeah, fine thread. You know, a lot of stuff like that Of course, if you have the nuts to go with them, it doesn't really matter, but some of that stuff, you know, may not use too often. So handy. Just some little pins. Socket head cap screws, bolts. Handy. These are standard. These standard? Yeah, standard. Uh-oh, we're missing. We got a label peeling off of something. I don't know what that label came off of. We'll hang on to it because we want everything labeled. More fine thread. Bolts. Some grade 8s. That's not a grade 8, but the rest of them are. These are little rivets. Must have a special tool that flares these over. I'm not sure on those. I guess you could just bend these over. You must have something that goes in and it flares that end out. I'm not sure. It's not a standard rivet. Tubular rivets and split rivets. I'll have to see how you're supposed to do those. So we got some metric bolts. Nuts, metric, and lock washers. What I'll try to do is I'll try to clear off some shelves to put these on. Maybe I can try to group them together, put all the metric stuff together. These are thread cutting screws. That's handy. Just drill a hole in some sheet metal or something and they should thread themselves in. There it goes there. That'll be handy. Let's see how they are on the end. They're supposed to cut their own threads. And they probably will, because they are good quality old bolts. You know. More metric. Looks like these are all 12 millimeter. That's some good quality bolts. Start moving some of this stuff over. Make our stack a little higher. Stainless steel. Screws, sheet metal screws. This is a heavy box. Stove bolts. And got 2 more boxes. Another heavy one. And the recessed stove bolts. There. Also handy to have. Another heavy one. And this one. Standard, looks like fine thread. Cap screws. Yeah, fine thread. So that is it. 5 tubes of grease, 2 lights I'll probably put on the Ford tractor. Brand new in the box. These are just little utility lights. I think they have that rubber or plastic housing. Everything's in there. They're 12 volt, so that'll work well. And then that chem dip, it fills I don't know if it's completely full, but it at least has quite a bit in it. So that'll be good for carburetors and stuff. I don't have any, I just use my parts washer normally, but that's a little better stuff for carburetors and my normal parts washer fluid. And of course that gas can, which he gave that to me for my great aunt and uncle, so to give to them. I'm just passing that one along. So there it is. We've got, let's count them real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58. 58 boxes of hardware. And he was only going to charge me $5 total for those lights, and I just went ahead and just gave him a 20. And super nice guy. So he was just wanting to get rid of these. But I mean, there's a lot of use in this stuff. I've been wanting to build up my supply of bolts, and so this does that, you know. I'm missing a lot of the common stuff, you know. That's kind of what he used, is a lot of the common stuff, but a lot of this fine thread stuff, if I've got the fine thread nuts, which I'll have to sort through it and see. I don't remember. If I've got the fine thread nuts, you know, if I'm just trying to bolt something together and I've got the nut, I don't care if it's fine thread or coarse thread. You know, if I'm threading into something, then, you know, of course it matters. But if I can put a nut on it, you know, to me it doesn't matter, coarse or fine. So it looked like, to me, there were more bolts than nuts from what I remember looking through this, but it's still a good stash, and I can always stock up on nuts. So I feel like these, you know, they're all together. You know, they've got their nuts with them, so I can just go grab what I need. This one's in the wrong box. Where were the... Right here. This one goes in here, right there. And what I'll do is I might try to organize. Some of them are unorganized, you know. Might try to organize them as I'm going through, like this. That doesn't belong in there. So I'll try to do that as I'm putting them away. But I'm gonna have to clear off probably 2 shelves. I want to put them single deep. My shelves are probably wide or deep enough that I could get 2, but I think I want to put them single deep so I can read, so I can see everything. I don't want stuff hidden behind. I want to be able to look and say, oh, I need a clevis pin, you know, and pull one out, instead of having them like this. You know, I don't know what's behind here, you know, so I want them just single deep. So we'll have to clear out some spots, and we'll put all this stuff away. So thanks for watching. Leave a comment down below, hit the like button, and subscribe for more.